Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. I am Priyanshi welcoming you all again on behalf of Solar Quarter and Firstry Group to the second day of Malaysia Solar Week 2021. Hope you all had a great time yesterday and I'm sure you must have done the networking with your peers today as well. Now it's time to start with our second day of conference, but before that, I take the pleasure to thank our partners for extending their immense support to organize the event. So, starting with our presenting partner SMA Solar, our platinum partners Goodwe and Sealant Terre, industry partner Esgar Energy. Now, let me quickly take you through today's agenda. We will be having one session today which will be focused on rooftop solar sector, rooftop solar market, and technology and trends. And after this, we will be having our much awaited awards function as well. So now I request my team to start the sponsor video of SMA, which is our presenting partner, along with Goodby and Sealant Terre, who are our platinum partners. Thank you so much, team, for playing the video. And now, without any further delay, let's begin with our session on rooftop solar market and technology trends. Now, it's time to begin with the panel discussion, and to discuss with us, we have extreme apologies. Before this, we are having a sponsor presentation by Spencer Su, ma'am. So, over to you, ma'am. I believe Spencer ma'am has some technical issues, so she is not with us now. No worries, the show must go on, and we'll start with the panel discussion. And the expert speaker lineup which we have are Mr. Yan Nam Tong from Total Solar Malaysia, Mr. Sadaran Tewari from Eki Energy Services Limited, Mr. Ahmad Nizam Amiruddin from Clean Tech Solar, Mr. Jenu from Sky Renewables Malaysia, and who is also the session chair for the day, and Miss Priyamvada Pandit from SMA Solar, along with Miss Regent Chu from Yongyang Solar Roof. So, with this, I would like to hand over the session to Jen sir to lead the discussion. So, the platform is all yours now.
Hi, thank you very much, Priyanshi. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to session 3. Right, so today we'll be talking about rooftop solar and technological trends. So just to give you a quick overview of what we are going to be discussing about, we'll first start with the macro side of things to understand how has the industry developed. We also want to talk about how prices have developed, how are some of the technological advancements going. We want to talk about some of the business models that are available in the market today. All right, from outright purchase, solar leasing, the PPAs, they are very popular today. We will also have some time to talk about RECs, renewable energy certificates and carbon credits. So that's going to be quite an interesting topic to cover. And lastly, we'll end with some kind of more discussions on policies and government initiatives. Right. So without further ado, I think let's get going with the macro. Right. So the solar rooftop industry has developed really well. Right. We are now in NEM 3.0. So over the past years, after fit-in tariff, maybe we just get a ball rolling, right? How, from your experience, how has some of the rooftop space grown over the past year? Maybe we can start with either Nizam or Tong. You'd like to just kick us off with your thoughts on the topic.
Okay. Yeah, JY, let me start. Okay. Thanks for starting the discussion. Okay. I mean, everyone here has been, if you have been following the solar rooftop development in Malaysia, starting from FIT when SEDA was established back in early 2010s up until today, when you have the NEM program. So you have seen tremendous growth from the early days of FIT, where you need government subsidies, until today actually that you see that rooftop growing, the market is growing tremendously. Even without the subsidies provided by government. Of course, we have a lot of incentive, favorable policy from the government to support the growth. But yeah, I mean, it's great to see where it began and where it's headed. So that's why I think a lot of the panelists today, are here today and see there's tremendous growth potential for Malaysian market. Yeah.
Great. Yes, but so in terms of megawatt size, right? How do you think the opportunity will be for the next year and the year after in terms of development?
Okay, I mean, if they exclude the FIT, those were pre-2016s, okay. So after that, the rooftop solar, if you look at the CNI industry specifically, so including domestic market, consumer, household is not a big percentage of it, but just looking at the NEM quota, the NEM 1.0 and 2.0, you get 500 megawatt quota from there. And by end of last year, everything was taken up. So it's safe to assume we have minimum 500 megawatt, rooftop solar right now in Malaysia. Then the NEM 3.0, April this year, another 300 megawatt taken up. So you have 800 megawatt, So just on the assumption of that, plus whatever that self-consumption scheme and those that are under development. So plus the extra 300 megawatt that was just released a couple of days ago. So it's safe to say we have reached at least 1 gigawatts of rooftop solar in Malaysia. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and do you think there's still a lot of room for us to grow and tap on the space?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look at the some of the studies, they say that at least on the commercial, industrial, and public sector, there's at least 4 gigawatts of potential in Malaysia. So there's still a lot of potential, a lot of room for us to grow, and yeah, I'm excited to be part of this journey.
Yeah, very very awesome. Regine, you're from an EPCC perspective. Has the market been really busy for you over the past 2 years?
Hi JY, hi everyone. Yes, market has been busy. I would say but of course we were kind of impacted by the pandemic, so it was quiet down. I think everyone feels the same. I had the same experience, but now we are in the recovery phase. So market wise is picking up again. I would say the this is a peak time, especially currently now is the project execution implementation time to meet the target schedule, and also everyone is moving towards the economy recovery as well. So these are projects that has been also be able to resume, or maybe to kickstart at this point of time. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Regine. Maybe we just give the audience a quick download on the various business models, right, for the CNI rooftop space and also the residential. So typically there is the outright purchase model where you can, if you want to go for solar, you go to an EPC like Regine and say, hey, can you design a solution for me and I'll buy it from you, and you just pay the fees. There's another model that's very popular now, which is the called PPA model, which is a power purchase agreement where you go to either Nizam, Tong, or myself and say, hey, we want to go and get solar without any of the upfront costs, but we want to pay a lower PPA tariff rate. We want to engage with you. So maybe we can, I think that the whole PPA model is very interesting here in the market and is growing really quickly. So maybe Nizam or Tong, you want to give a quick overview? Maybe Nizam, since, yeah.
Yep, sure, can. Thanks, JY. So on corporate PPA, of course, I think it's a very interesting model, as you mentioned, that whereby there is no capex incurred by the customer itself. So with this, the money which is being spent on solar can actually be used for their own production. So with that, it actually enables them to grow their own business. So by not focusing so much on solar, it leaves it to like company like Sky, Total, or even Cleantech Solar to focus on the solar, on what we do best. So it gives a peace of mind as well to the customer, and it's always risk-free as well, whereby we will do the operation maintenance and also the construction risks will all be undertaken by us.
Great. Oh, one question that I always get asked a lot
Yeah.
is, Nisa, how much can I save from going into PPA?
You definitely can save quite a bit. I wouldn't say 100%, but maybe I think 20 to 30% would be something achievable, depending on your consumption as well, load pattern and so on. So of course, the higher the consumption maybe depends on your rooftop space. So there's a lot of variables which comes into play, and not just we just don't look at one absolute number at it.
Got it. So from when customers are going for solar, a lot of them are thinking, hey, when is the right time? Because prices have gone down over the past 5-10 years, very very sharp, right? But then they always say, should I wait for 2 years? Should I wait for another 3 years for prices to go down even further? So yeah, maybe if anyone want to offer some kind of insights to the topic, they'll be quite good. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll take this one as well. So for me, I would say the time is now. Let's not, there's a lot of the government is trying to push for these policies to go through. As mentioned earlier, there is like NEM quota which is newly being released. So I think it's good for the industry to capitalize on this as well. So not just the industrial, but also residential area, residential consumers to look at this. So if you were to say to wait for another 2 years, 3 years, then I would say the time will always be there. You just need to jump on the wagon and get on it. Yeah.
Got it. but
Yeah,
there's Tom,
yeah.
go
Sorry,
ahead.
maybe I just chime in a bit. I mean, I totally agree what Nizam said. The time is now. Of course, to add into what you said earlier, solar panel prices has been dropping for the past 10 years, uh, with the exception of this year. So those
Correct.
in the industry will know that suddenly there's a rebound. So people were saying, "Oh, why should I install it now?" Okay, then like last year, I'll wait for next year. Prices will drop. But the reality is, I think most of us or all of us here will know that industry has gone up by a percentage that is beyond our imagination. So I think that statement last year when clients were telling, "Oh, it's been dropping. Why should I go for it now?" I don't think it's valid anymore. And that is just one factor. Another thing is, I mean, a lot of them actually are targeting going for net zero carbon. They are trying to reduce their GHG emission. Again, if that is your main focus, you should go for solar today and not 10 years down the road when you have released even more GHG gases or contributed to that. So I would say do it now, do it for the future generation. Don't wait for things to become cheaper or the climate to become hotter. Do it today. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah,
Tom. Can I add something to that, because I
of course,
believe you
Sadan.
added about the GHG gases, and I totally agree to what you said, because I mean, after COP26, what has just happened last week, and according to the reports of IPCC, we are exactly at that point where we need to take action very seriously. Let me just to add here, even the NDCs that the governments are giving, like for each and every countries, that has to be more ambitious in order to tackle that, to go with that Paris Agreement. So since we are focusing on the solar, yes, we have to go very aggressive in terms of, as you said, the capacity is there in Malaysia. I mean, even if it is rooftop or ground mounted, doesn't matter. The GHG gases needs to be mitigated. And mind you, if just to add you, like the background where I am coming from, if there is anything which is related to the mitigating of the GHG gases, there is something called carbon credits that commodity adds up there. So that is the value that carbon credit can bring in terms of in the project, as it could be, it could reduce the IRR. Okay, it would be more of a external revenue from the project, that can be generated through carbon credits. So if whether it could be any GHG mitigating activity, it doesn't matter. The carbon credits are there to generate that external revenue. So I still agree that yes, we have to go a little bit more aggressive on what exactly is happening right now in related to climate change.
Priyu, you have anything to add on here? You gotta unmute.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
you're on
sorry.
mute.
Yeah. So yes, I totally agree with everyone, because I think it's already late in the sense from the climate change and everything perspective that we are talking about. We still have to. We can't completely wait for prices to drop down further. I mean, there will be changes in the technologies, and that will happen even after 5 years. So I mean, you can't decide exactly where you have to start. So we have to start now. There will be few different right now we are facing challenges about, say, panel prices or something. There is possibility after few years there is some other challenge. So we have to come over the challenge and still go ahead. We can't just stop or wait to cool down, otherwise it would be too late. So uh, definitely, as a complete market, as a complete industry, I'm sure we'll be able to find out ways to tackle, right now, we can think about different opportunities where we can have the financial benefits. We can talk about other credits and everything to make sure that the project is financially viable, instead of just waiting for prices to come down of the products further. So I guess that's how it should go ahead.
Thanks for you. I think the point on carbon credits is a very interesting one. So we have carbon credits, we have renewable energy certificates, and we're very lucky to have Sadanan here, which is an expert on the topic. So Sadanan, why don't you explain to us, give us a download, right, a quick one on what is renewable energy certificates, what are carbon credits, and how can that be positioned in the whole industry here for us?
See, I will start with the very basic point where I will talk about the similarities first, between this carbon credit and RECs, renewable energy certificate. They both are related to this climate change thing. Okay, they both are the commodities that people are going to talk. They are all talking, and they are going to talk in future as well. The point is, the difference is what exactly it is, where carbon credit is more focused towards mitigating that GHG gases. Okay, we have 6 different types of GHG gases. No matter what activity you are doing, if you are reducing that GHG gases, you are liable. You can generate that carbon credits. Okay. When we talk about RECs, it's more related to the renewable electricity and renewable electricity only, where we have solar, wind, hydro. It doesn't matter. It has to be renewable electricity. Also, one more difference is that when we talk about RECs, the RECs are helping to reduce the scope 2 emissions only, whereas carbon credits are there to reduce your scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 emissions. That's one of the very important difference that RECs and carbon credits has. Apart from that, what makes things different and how this whole, the pricing structure changes from RECs to carbon credits are that, in carbon credits, it could be traded, or it could be retired worldwide. When we come to the REC, we talk about the national grid. So, for example, if the project is in Malaysia, and if we talk about a renewable project like a solar project which is already been commissioned and registered in a local REC, the RECs has to be retired in that Malaysian market itself. That makes it more complicated. However, for carbon credits, the whole world is there. The developed nations are there sitting around. The financial institutes are there sitting down. They want to reduce their emissions, and they can directly do the carbon offsetting by buying them or retiring them. So that's how the differences are.
Got it. That's super helpful. Maybe from a market standpoint, are we seeing clients going for solar because of sustainability? Because so I know globally is a big push, right? They will say, okay, going for solar is a quick win, and this is what we pitch to clients as well. But maybe just from a practical, local standpoint, from a project execution, maybe Regine, Nizam, Matong, have you seen clients, Malaysian clients? I know Malaysia, we have a lot of local businesses which only care about dollars and cents. So do they is sustainability a big thing that they care about, or do you think it's a nice to have?
Maybe I can share a bit here. So of course, for Malaysia market, it started from a feed-in tariff. So when feed-in tariff program started, the main thing that enticed people to actually invest in, be it business or individuals, was the return of investment. So, but as the market grows and also evolve, so currently we are moving into the consumption model, as you can see it in the net energy metering programs, and then we have like 1, 2, 3, and now it's in the third program. So there's a bit of improvement and the changes along the way, switching from purely generation to consumption. So in this regards, we see that actually the mindset also has been also changing from, instead of just power generation, it will be more towards to reduce the consumption from the grid, which is coming from fossil fuel. So the awareness definitely is increasing. But I will be very frankly, there is also the major thing that actually drive the things is always the bottom line. Yeah. So, but of course, renewables energy, it has the good side from both things, whereby it totally makes sense in terms of bottom line, and it also could actually reduce the carbon emissions, to actually, in a way, to reduce the increase in the temperature, and then coming from the fossil fuel, and then we can actually help to save the planet. So it's a win-win situation, and I think in our countries as well, a lot of awareness program has been doing from day one, since the feed-in tariff, and now moving to net energy metering program, to basically to increase the awareness, and also to educate the consumers, the public, about the importance of going for renewables energy. Yeah. So we
Very
will see that currently, you will say the awareness is higher. So when you talk about solar, people acceptance level is also higher. Yeah.
Yeah. From a REC or carbon credit standpoint, have you seen companies in the market or projects in the market using them practically? Yeah, because I mean, from I think that the concept is still quite new in Malaysia, right? But in terms of practical implementation, have any of you seen this implemented on any of your projects?
Indeed, I mean, from Malaysia, because see, when we talk about this carbon credits or REC, there has to be someone sitting at the top saying that, okay, X amount of carbon credits were generated or anything like that, right? So we have different mechanisms or different standards through which we go through the process and we generate those carbon credits. Mind you, just to add here, carbon credit is basically reduction or removal of 1 ton of CO2 equivalent from the atmosphere. Okay. And secondly, one more thing is that this is not a tangible product. It's not something that you will be touching it and you will be knowing it, right? So there is a registry who takes care of everything. So yes, when we talk about Malaysia or specifically Southeast Asia, there are projects. There are a lot of projects to be fair enough, which are already registered into CDM, like a lot of the different GHG standards which we have, the carbon standards which we have, who are generating this revenue out of it. And I mean, not specifically Malaysia that we have someone right now working. I mean, we have any clientele from there, but there are a lot of other countries in Southeast Asia where we do have this clientele based, and projects have generated this revenue stream for sure. There are already companies who are working towards it as well. But yes, again, this awareness point is very important. I really think so, because I mean, more the awareness, more the RE market will grow, more these commodities will come up, and more the government will be more taking some serious steps related to the climate change.
Got it. Maybe linking it to a PPA. So Tong, if anything to add on this point first before we move on to the
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, to add on a bit on what Sadanan and Regine said earlier, of course, definitely a lot of companies are, in the beginning they're looking at dollar and cents when it comes to going solar, but now with the awareness and with the I would say some pressure as well, because we are an export economy in Malaysia, so most of our exporter, company that exports to bigger clients overseas, the MNCs. So they are all, most of them, they are RE100, members, or they have some specific targets, to reduce their carbon footprint. So they do require their vendors, to follow this as well. So in a way that these commitments globally has actually, has filtered down to Malaysia level. Even, in the past, maybe you say, oh, I don't care about all this, but once the biggest client tell you that you need to, clean up your act, I would say, or reduce your emissions. So in a way, it forces them to, okay, so yeah, they have to look into it, So I mean, it's a good thing. This awareness, this push, this kind of global, power to actually push the market forward. Okay, and secondly, on the renewable credit, definitely, I mean, linking back to what I said earlier, that's why companies are looking, oh, can you do this for us if we sign the PPA with you, for example, do we get the carbon credit? They don't ask first how many percentage, discount are you going to give me from the grid tariff? So there's definitely more of that. We are saying that, yeah, especially for those companies that are more exposed to the global market, that they operate, not just in Malaysia, their clientele maybe is from overseas, MNCs, So we are definitely seeing that. So it is a very encouraging sign. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, just to add one more thing on to what Tong said about the RE100s thing, right? I mean, it's just a number I would like to share that from last year. I mean, there was a 42% of increase in the companies who have taken this initiative of RE100. And mind you, these companies are from Southeast Asian countries.
Wow.
So yes, 42% of there was an increase that we have seen in the market the companies who have taken a pledge for this RE100 thing. And these RE100 companies are, I mean, if you go to the reports of the CDP and RE100, you will come to know that how much serious they are about all this thing, where they are consuming these RECs, they are consuming their offset for own, they are reducing their GHG emissions, or, scope 1, scope 2, or scope 3 emissions. I just wanted to throw a number. That's why I came in between. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, 42%.
That's a pretty big number, which I totally agree. I think in the market now you see there's quite a lot of companies, especially MNCs, which are they don't look at much on the savings part. They just want, okay, I just need to reduce my carbon emission, and regardless of whatever the savings is, it doesn't matter. That's secondary. But of course, the thing when JY mentioned earlier, asking about how is it in Malaysia itself and the local companies. I think the mindset is still, being Malaysian, we want to get the cheapest rate, the lowest rate of tariff which is possible. Yeah. So I think from that kind of point of view is that even though they are getting a lot of reduction, we need to remember that solar, of course, you will be able to reduce your electricity, but it would not be 100%. You'd be free from the grid kind of thing.
Yeah. The point that you mentioned that clients want to get the credits, want to get the RECs, what happens when they get it? Is that just an assurance tool when they publish in a sustainability report, or do they generate some kind of revenue from that and then, makes the business case for solar more attractive?
So it's a two-way thing, Jane. The first one is that now let's talk about from the project owner's perspective. Okay, for the project owner's perspective, this is a commodity, and so that's where they are earning revenue. That's why I told you that carbon credits, it's basically a carbon finance that we talk about. So the whole point, if we go in 1977, where it all started about this carbon credit thing under the CDM Kyoto Protocol, basically it was between developing and developed countries, where developed countries were putting funds into the developing countries so that they can come up with these kind of mitigating activities. They were doing the investment, and those were the buyers of those carbon credits. So when I talk about buying, that means there is a sale happening for the credits. They are generating the revenue. So those companies who are buying those carbon offset are basically reducing their GHG emission activities. They are reducing their carbon footprinting. Either it could be for their net zero, either it could be for their carbon neutrality, whatever it is. That's for their own reasoning. As a project owner, the main thing is, the bottom line is that they are generating that additional revenue so that they can sustain, they can kind of keep on doing those activities, either it to continue. I mean, it is either it's for maintenance of that project activity, or they want to invest to have something more to expand their activities like that. So that's how the whole business is running around. And just to add, I mean, again, I'm more of a number guy. So if I talk about the numbers right now, according to the voluntary carbon market and some consultant S&P, they have said that this business of this carbon credit, the total valuation could go to around $50 billion. That's the maximum. The minimum, they said that it will be touching $30 billion by 2030 for sure. There is no doubt about it. And after what has happened in COP26, we are already seeing a growth upon, and the companies are getting a lot of demands and supply, and all those kind of things have started talking about. So this is something, it's definitely going to be there as a commodity. I can bet you on that.
Got it. Very helpful. Anybody wants to add on anything on that point?
Maybe I can add on a bit. I think just to share is, as we can see more and more countries pledging to go for net zero by 2050. So that is actually pushing for everyone to going forward the effort to declare the carbon emissions targets. And of course, that will also including the carbon emissions coming from the electricity, which is mainly, I think, Mr. Sadanan has mentioned in the scope 2. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So that is how, in terms of renewable energy, the solar energy could actually contributing to that moving forward. So that is also in line with what Malaysia is, I think, committing to do so in the near future. So there's every pieces and bits of roles that we can play, especially in the renewable energy area here. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much for that. So maybe if we sum it up for the audience, in summary, why is it important for them to go solar? Maybe any of you want to volunteer to give a quick summary on why they should think about this now? What's in it for them? Anyone?
Okay, let me try to give that question a shot. I mean, in a nutshell, I mean, there's two things. You go solar today, you can have both I would say the benefit of reducing your energy bills. That's the most, I would say, things that are immediately you can feel, you can see, you can look at your bank balances or in your energy bill. That's the number one. And secondly, something that is not so visible, like what Sadhana said, is not something that we see. What is even a carbon credit, or what is even a GHG gas? Is it's odorless. You cannot see it, you cannot smell it. But that is something that if we don't do something about it, maybe in our generation we won't feel the effects of it. But the next generation, 20, 30 years down the road, those who are like living in coastal area, or who are feeling the forest fires and all that, then they will see more and more the effects. And at the end of the day, uh, especially those in the more, I would say, developed and developing market, we actually have more responsibility to do that. Because at the end of the day, countries that emit the less or the least amount of GHG gases are the one that is bearing the brunt of the effects of this climate change. So I think just having that mindset, and then today we are all interconnected. We are global citizens. It's not like what happened in the country next to me. It doesn't as long as I'm all safe and cozy here, then it doesn't matter to me. I think we all have to have that awareness, that kind of mindset. So I would say that that's the two main driving forces today. Yeah.
Very true, Trong. And just to add that, I mean, as somebody has said, I don't remember exactly whom, but I think we are the first generation who is experiencing this climate change thing, and we will be the last one to do something against it. So whether it is solar or anything, we have to take some actions.
Yeah, spot on, spot on. It's a very good summary. Anybody else want to add on that point? All good? Yeah. Okay. Regine, want to say something?
I think everyone should go to make full use of the resources that we have, which is the rooftop spaces that you have. Yeah, putting the panels. Yeah, because it's
Totally.
already there. Yeah, and perhaps maybe you can share a bit. It could actually cool the roof temperature down a bit. So there is a little bit maybe the intangible benefits that you could actually reap as well. Yeah.
Yeah, very helpful. So I think we talk about so far the industry, the growth, why you want to go solar. We talk about the different business models. I think one thing that people ask usually is also, if my factory works at night, there's no sun, right? Can I store some of this energy, right? So I think for you, this is for you, right? So maybe you want to give a quick introduction to people around what are the possible ways to maximize the potential of solar using battery storage solutions, and then we
Okay.
can go from there. Yeah.
Yeah. So typically with storage solution, there are different applications that we talk about. Why we want to have the local storage of the system. Typically in the on-grid system, what happens when you have say net metering, you have FIT, whatever, you are using the existing infrastructure of your grid to store the excess energy. That is what is happening. So whatever excess generation you are exporting it to the grid, and you are using grid as a storage, or somebody else would be using it. But when you typically don't have say you don't have FIT, or if you want to increase the self consumption, your main goal is to use whatever you are generating for your local loads instead of exporting it to the grid, for whatever reasons, whether you are allowed it or not, or you don't want to do it. I mean, there can be for financial reasons, for technical reasons. In such cases, typically the storage comes into the picture.
Yeah.
Now, storage, typically when we talk about storage, currently what we are talking about is battery storage, the chemical batteries that we are talking about. Probably in the future, we will have fuel cells. We have other form of storage of the energies, whether the conversion happens. But currently what we have is the battery storage, the chemical batteries that we have. Typically, mostly lead acid and lithium ion batteries are what being used currently. From cost point of view, yes, currently they are little expensive. That is one of the factor probably right now. It's putting limitation on how much storage is actually being implemented along with the PV. That is one of the main thing. But the advantage you get typically will be depend upon what is your load pattern. For example, if your load pattern for the local loads or for the industry, it is similar to your solar pattern. That means your load is heavy during day, then probably you won't get that much benefit from the storage projects. But if you have factories which are say cold storage, which are running 24/7, or if you have you are talking about printing press for newspaper, something which typically run at night or in the evening, where your loads are heavy at night, at that time if you are able to capture your storage during day and use it at night, it will give you advantage. So at that time financially also it becomes a viable solution when you are using a storage system. So different applications, this is one type when we talk about the energy shift. In storage, you also have in the bigger power plants, typically storage can help you to stabilize the grid. So where you want the frequency control or frequency support for the grid. So typically the large power plants, larger storage plants would give grid support as well. There is sometimes peak shaving that is required. So even the large plants can help to have achieve the peak shaving when you have the peak energy. In some of the countries, you have different tariff rates at different times. So typically, if your load is also higher during higher tariff time, at that time, if you are able to consume your solar, that is also going to give you advantage. So depending upon the tariff rates, depending upon your application, you can have different configurations where storage can be helpful for you. So this is something which definitely help when you have some kind of limitation from, say, policies point of view, when or even your local loads, and overall the nature of PV, that it is available during only for, say, 4 or 5 sun hours. So for that to counter that or to overcome that problem, I guess storage is going to help a lot. Yeah.
Thanks, Priyu. That's very, very helpful. From a practical standpoint, so from a commercial standpoint, when we approach clients today, I think from a PPA standpoint, generally, when we look into our financial models, we most of the time realize, hey, storage solutions are really expensive. So
Yeah.
maybe Nizam or Tong, you want to weigh in on whether the market is ready to adopt for battery storage in Malaysia.
Yeah. Okay. If I want to add it, maybe for Malaysia market right now, there's no incentive for you to actually really go for storage, to be honest. And if we look at not even globally, just look at regionally, I mean, our tariff is actually we are not even the most expensive. I think we are one of the cheaper ones. So at the end of the day, I think Priyo can add on. I think when you install like a BESS solution, energy storage, what's the main objective that you wanted to achieve, or what's the issue that you want to solve? If you're off grid, then that's a no-brainer. I think either that or diesel genset. So I think it's an easy choice, or you do a hybrid system. But when you're on grid, and when the tariffs are cheap and you're getting demand charges and all that, but even then, the economics doesn't really add up yet for Malaysia for someone to like do load shifting or peak shaving. So I would say the technology is there, it's ready, just that in terms of purely financial or economic reasons, I think people just don't want to do that yet. Okay, unless you're in market, I don't know, like Australia, where the prices are high, you can basically install a PV system at your home, add a battery, then I can say just say goodbye to the grid. But it's not in Malaysia, so I would say it's a pure economical reason or financial reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually agree with Tong. So just to add some flavor, I think in Malaysia at the moment, I think recently there was some seminars going on the NPI also, whereby there was the speaker actually asked, the audience whether Malaysia is ready for it. And when we ask, is anyone looking to install a battery? I think it's at the moment with the financial constraints, it does not actually help. There might not be a discount, or perhaps it will be actually a premium on top of the tariff itself. So definitely, it's probably not now yet, I would say, in terms of battery storage. But perhaps in the next few years, we hope, when the technology actually advances and the R&D comes into play, then the price may drive down, as how you see in the solar panels. But of course, excluding this year, of course.
Yeah. So I think to summarize, I think the business case here at the current cost structure, it makes sense for countries with very high tariff rates. And for us in Malaysia, we are heavily subsidized, and with that point of view, the only way for batteries to be feasible from a commercial standpoint is if the price continues to drop, right? Until it meets the financial threshold that we're looking for. Yeah, is that right for you? Do you think?
I agree. So as we talked earlier, that the technology is already there regarding the other control system and how you implement it. So for probably I would say from the inverters and other BOS point of view, the main cost is for the batteries in the storage. I mean, the biggest cost is batteries, and unless and until the prices for the batteries go down, and if or otherwise you have some technological advance, you have new chemicals, you have new materials which are being used in the batteries, which bring down the cost drastically. Uh, that obviously needs to happen. That will push this storage market even further.
Yeah.
Otherwise, from control system point of view, whatever is required for the implementation, it is already there. That
Got
is
it.
not the problem. Yeah.
That's very helpful. So from a project standpoint, when we execute a project, we know that there are a few components that they are very important, right? We have the panels. Next big
Mm,
one are the inverters, right?
mm,
So we
mm,
know there
mm.
are a few big names out there in terms of inverters, and Pri, you are quite big in inverters as well. Maybe you want to explain some kind of offerings that you have from an inverter standpoint that make things
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes, definitely. I mean, for inverters, inverter development typically always, I mean, since whatever last 30, 40 years, whatever is development happening in solar, inverters typically have been developed to cater to the energy which is generated by the panels. So panels are the driving force. What is the technology which is being used in the panels, that define what you are using and how the design of the PV inverters are done. From efficiency point of view, because of being transformer, then the current designs which are there in the market being transformerless and using the solid state devices, all the efficiency for the inverters is already reached up to 99%. So from efficiency point of view, whatever development needs to be done, it's there. But what we need now in the inverter, which is being implemented worldwide slowly, is typically mainly in the control and communication point of view. You want to have, when you, for example, if you are now using string inverters for the bigger projects, you need to, communication becomes one of the important factor. If you have say local, you're installing systems in the remote regions. With the pandemic, we understood the importance of communication and the remote monitoring. All that becomes even more important. So that is one of the important factor that inverters needs to offer, that you are able to monitor your systems remotely, you are able to control your systems remotely. Apart from that, you are also need to make sure now that all that data that you are accessing remotely, it is secure. So the cyber security and the security of the data and everything becomes more important. Because the generation now, for example, if generation is going to give you it's going to affect your finances, you want to have that data definitely secure. Apart from that, you this is typically from monitoring point of view. Apart from that, for example, this is for the owners, for the developers or who are doing O&M activities. For them, portfolio management becomes important. So they want to have uh, understanding of their entire portfolio, and how they are going to how the O&M works, how, what are the different, if they want to say have maintenance done at certain location, whether they can plan it for their entire portfolio management, whether they can monitor it, they can control it. That is one thing for O&M activities. Apart from that, there is we need to understand the grid management point of view. So when as we are increasing the renewable sources in the we would say the amount of renewable energy that we are putting on the grid, we need to also understand the whether the grid is able to withstand that much, whether grid is still stable with the renewable energy. Because all the renewable energy sources, one of the biggest, I would say, drawback is that it is not 100% controllable. It is depending upon the environmental factors. So for when you increase the amount of renewable in your grid, you want to have more control. I mean, you need to make sure that grid is stable. So you want these power plants which are renewable, they want to contribute into the stability of the grid. So they should do grid management, they should provide reactive power support, they should provide active power support as the for the frequency regulation. So all that needs to be done, and which is typically done by the inverter. So your inverters needs to have all these features. We want to have systems which are more lean. So we want to have minimum components on the field, power electronics components. So typically for the rooftop, when you have different shading problems, so instead of using power electronics on each and every panel, or power electronics, if we can have some algorithms which we can use in the inverter itself, main inverter, where it can help with shade mitigation. So instead of using more hardware, if the software can is able to solve the problem, the development needs to be done over there. So like SMA has something called a shade fix. Different inverter manufacturers might have different technologies, but which helps without having more power electronics, more connections, because more connections will lead to possible failures. So to reduce the failures at site, basically you want to have minimum components onto the site. So all that and more lean systems, which will contributes in term, give you more lifetime for the product, because typically for even inverters we have years of lifetime. Why? Typically are giving you so that actually defines everything. So if you want to uh, maintain that, if you want to achieve that, all these advancements into the systems, in typically in overall system as well as on component basis, like inverters, these needs to be implemented and taken into account, I think so.
Yeah, definitely. And that was a very, very comprehensive overview. Thank you for that. Maybe, so we have talked about all the good stuff, right? We talked about you save money, you go green, at no frills, Tong, Nizam, or even Sky will take care of all the project management for you. Regine, you handle all the EPC work, Pre, you give all the really fancy equipment and all. But from a execution standpoint, what are the general problems and risks when you're developing the project that potentially people need to be aware of as they say yes to a solar project?
Maybe this
Somebody?
question is for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, go
Please
ahead.
take it, Regine. Yeah.
Typically, especially for the rooftops implementation, we need to consider a few points, especially in terms of the loading issues on the roof structures. So different buildings, they are built with different designs and maybe different era. As you know, that different different older buildings, they are built with different designs, and the newer buildings, they have different building codes, especially in regards to in Malaysia here. So what we actually do is we need to do structural assessment and so-called checking the roof conditions prior. Actually say, hey, this project is able to feasible for the solar installations. So this, I think probably perhaps that is something that the end user or the owner, they need to be aware of this. Yeah, to actually avoid any other post installations problems that come up later. So, so in terms of the project planning and also execution, the details, so these are all have to be well taken care of to ensure a smooth and also a good project. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just add on a little bit, to what Regine said. One thing that probably are most neglected is probably safety. A lot of
Yes.
people say you just install solar panel, you have people climbing, walking all over the roof, and you have your skylight there, then you don't do a proper safety. So there has been incidences, where, people fall through the skylight, and if you're lucky, you get maybe minor injury, but if you're unlucky, you're not going home, to your family. So I think that's one aspect that, doing, especially for rooftop solar, because you are working at height, so you have to pay very, utmost importance to this. Ultimately, the solar system will be there for the next 25, 30, or even 35 years. There'll be people going up during the installation, during the maintenance, just going up to clean the system. So that must be one thing that, everyone who, before you install solar system, do have that safety mindset, in mind. It's not just, some people say just install it, just leave it there, then you don't have to go up anymore, then it's okay. So no, that's not it. You have to be careful. You have to have all the the safety installation, whatever that you need. Guardrails or whatever, skylight covers and all. To be there for the next 20, 25, 30 years. Yeah. At the end of the day, we don't want any life to be lost. Just because you're going green or saving money. Yeah.
Totally agree with you, Tom. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So I think safety is one part of the whole solar system ecosystem where it is very important. Like just to add on, Tom, the guardrails, lifelines, skylight protection. Those are definitely, it needs to be in a way. I would say has to be mandatory. It comes together with the installation of the solar system. Whereby I think when it also needs to be educated to the customers, to the audience here, that safety is definitely a priority which they need to put in mind. Not just looking at the savings, or of course they want the largest system, but yeah, definitely safety guardrails will definitely need to be in place.
Got it. So safety is nice. It's good. It's very, very important to have, but it's not cheap, right? So
correct.
your walkway, your guardrails, your safety lines are not cheap. So from a practical standpoint, when customers say, we want to go for the most cost-effective system and also safe, what's the minimum safety you would recommend everybody put on their roof?
I would say it depends on the roof profile as well. So if it does have like a parapet walls, so those are probably, in terms of safety, there is a barrier, a physical barrier preventing from the fall from when you're working at heights. But of course, I think when you're talking about cost effectiveness and so on, I would say, most buildings would be installed with some sort of lifelines. So perhaps, you could add on additional lifelines just to cater for the installation areas for doing their maintenance and so on. But if it's like a brand new building, you would probably, I would say, guardrails would be a better choice. That's a physical, because lifelines is whereby we have to educate the installers, the people who does the maintenance work, to always be hook on, 100% hook on and so on. So, but with the guardrails, it's there, it's physically there. It prevents you from falling down. So in case you forgot to hook on, at least there is a barrier.
Yeah. Totally agree. So I think from an analysis, I totally agree that I think safety lines are absolutely must have, right? Because that is something, if you don't have it, then what's preventing you from falling? The thing is that when we spoke to EPCs, they'll be like, I mean, Regine, maybe you can chime in on this one. They say, actually, my workers don't really care about safety. So actually, a lot of this safety is a gimmick for PPA players. Anybody care to comment on that?
I would say safety is very important. It's not only ensures air workers' safety, protecting the building, also assets, properties. It's actually is a way to manage the project schedule as well. So yeah, even if it's neglected, then it will actually create impact on your delivery schedule. So that is something that probably need to be educated. Even I think especially to the building owner. I think the building owner need to be aware of this, and then they need to be also understand that this is something that is required. Yeah. So maybe I could suggest like providing a permanent accessibility to the roof. That would be a good practice for any system owners. Yeah. For a long-term maintenance consideration. Yeah.
So if I have to add on to that, so one thing it's safety that is required during the installation of the project, and another thing typically that is more from the physical point of view of the workers. Also from owners point of view, you need to understand the electrical safety of the project as well, where the continuous operation of we are working at voltages, even for the rooftop we are talking about, sometimes we have 1,000 volt systems, Sometimes for smaller systems it can be 600 volt. We are talking about 1000 volt systems. On the AC side, if it is an industrial project, sometimes you are connecting it to medium voltage. So entire system that we are talking about, you are working with very high currents, we are working with very high voltages. So the electrical safety is also important, and for that, basically, following the proper norms for the installation, and it is important. I mean, even for from selecting the BOS components that you are using, uh, it will save some cost in the capex if you are going with the cheaper products, or which are the low quality products. But we have to also keep in mind we are doing these projects which we want to withstand for 20 to 25 years. Ideally what we want is for solar, because solar does not, if you don't have a tracker system, there are no moving parts. That is one of the biggest advantage of solar. So the maintenance work, we want to keep it as minimum as possible, apart from cleaning of the panels, or sometimes if it is, say, there are fans in the inverter, if you want to clean the fans or something, apart from that cleaning of the panels or the components, apart from that, we typically don't want to have any kind of maintenance work. We want to have the system as fit and forget. That would be only possible if you are following the proper norms, for safety, and also for the installation and selecting the products. So that is important from the owner's point of view as well. I mean, it is not just from the installation or the EPC point of view. The end user also is going to get benefited from that. So yes.
Yeah, very, very helpful. I think there's this one question on solar panel lifetime or shelf life or whatever you call it, that clients always ask, how long can this system last? If you say you want to go for a PPA for 20 years, 25 years, can we be certain that the panels would be still efficient towards the end of life? Especially, say 15-year onwards, right? So maybe anybody would like to take that one on talking about how the longevity of solar panels that you are putting on people's roof.
Yeah, I would say that, I mean, solar panels in general, I think all the tier one, they are giving like 25 years at least performance warranty, that you get at least what, 84% of the capacity, at the end of year 25 or 30. So that's the, I mean, the level of advancement we have come to today in terms of the performance of solar panel. But of course, there are other components that I think Priyu is, you're the expert, the inverters, the cablings, everything else that you need to check, because as mentioned earlier, the panel itself, unless you're putting it on a tracker, is actually stationary there for the next 25, 30 years. You just go up and clean it, do some checkings, so the rest of the system, you have to take care of it, and especially I would say inverters. I don't think inverters last 25 years.
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe there's a new technology in the market that you give a 25 years warranty. So I would say that's one of the main component, and the rest of the electrical system that you need to really take care of. So one of the benefits, like you're going for PPA, is all this will be taken care of, in terms of generation, because for the developer, or like for Nizam and for JY also, for us, the incentive is for the system to be performing optimally, generating as much savings as we can for the client, and at the same time also generating as much revenue as we can. So the only way we can do this is actually by designing and installing a good system, selecting good equipment, partnering with good EPC that can deliver a good project. So it all comes together, that to deliver a safe working projects. This is not just a 2-3 years project. It's for the next 25, 30 years. So we want something that can last that long. And I still believe by the saying, good things don't come cheap. So so
Yes.
that's my
So in German, that I have told, I mean, I don't know German that much, but then being from the German company, my German colleagues have told me there is a saying which says, if you buy cheap, you end up buying twice. So so basically, that's why we talk about the quality part of it. As Tong rightly said, there are very few companies which have inverters which last long for 20 to 25 years. we most of our inverters we give the design lifetime is around 20 years. We have few inverters we have which are design lifetime of 25 years, even with 50% overloading. So basically it depends upon how the systems or the components are designed, how much is the margin, safety margin that you have while designing of each and every component, considering the stress that it would go through on the site. Because we at SMA, I'm happy that I'm part of SMA. I'm able to say this because we have seen systems which are running, being a company we are right now celebrating 40 years. We have systems which are been running more than 20 years onto the site already, so which have been installed that long and which are still running without a problem. uh, Apart from the panel point of view, panels, as Tong rightly said, they are designed to achieve at around of around 85 to 80% of its performance at the end of 20-25 years. So that is how they define. So generation is still going to be there at the end of 25 years, it would be less. Now if you have designed system properly with higher overloading, it is possible that even at the after 20 years also your inverter during good sunshine hours is able to generate at full power. uh, the inverter will generate depending upon whatever is available on the DC side. So if you have a good overloading on the inverters, you will be able to make use of the full power, full capacity of these inverters, the generation capacities for longer period of time. So that gives you advantage when you have systems like we were talking about, good components where they allow you, the components can withstand the higher stress. So typically what happens when you are overloading on the inverter is your inverter is going to operate at full power for more number of hours during its lifetime. And whether it is able to withstand that, whether whatever heat generation, thermal generation that is being, whether it can mitigate that, whether it has a good cooling system, all that defines the quality. The biggest problem is you cannot quantify quality that easily unless and until you have actually seen 25 years a project running and something. At the start of the project, defining that becomes little difficult. So but yes, overall, still, if their designing is good, products which are used good, it still can be producing enough energy at the end of 20-25 years.
Very helpful. Thank you so much, Mika and Tom. Yanshi, you want to say something?
Yes, Spencer ma'am is back with us, so we can have the sponsor presentation by Goodby. Spencer ma'am, can
Sure.
you hear us?
Yes, just a second. I will share my slides.
Ma'am, you can start with your presentation and share, present it on the screen.
Yeah.
Great. Ma'am, please let me know if you need any assistance.
Yes, I'm trying to share my slides.
Yes, ma'am, we can see it.
You can see it now.
No, I cannot see it now. I was
Because
able to see it
from
on the
my
screen.
side, because from my side, I see it cannot be shared through the PDF. I will try again.
Yes, we can see it now.
Can
Can you
see.
just try changing the slide
All
once
right,
more?
but from my side, I cannot change it. I cannot see it to change it.
Can you just try refreshing your page, ma'am? Thanking
Sorry?
all my audience to have patience. Are you able to do it now, ma'am?
Yes.
Again, we are not able to see your presentation, unfortunately.
Yeah. Can you see it now?
Yes, yes, it's perfectly visible now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Spencer, a solution engineer from Goodwill Solar Academy. I'm now supporting Australia and Southeast Asia for the PV system solutions. Today, I'm glad to introduce you Goodwill's commercial and industrial solution and some applications in Southeast Asia. Today's sharing will be carried out from the following four aspects. First of all, let me give you a brief introduction of Goodwill. Goodwill is a global leading inverter manufacturer. We are actually more than that. Our vision is to create a new era of smart energy. To achieve this goal, we've installed over 2 million units of inverters and helped save over 26 million tons of carbon dioxide. When we start our smart energy journey since 2010, in the past 10 years, we've developed in a dramatic speed and become a famous brand trusted by customers. We were listed on Shanghai Stock Exchange last year, and our business is keep expanding and growing. From this map, we can see our branches, sales and service centers all over the world, so that all our clients can be served in time. We also have two R&D centers and two factories to ensure product innovation as well as production and delivery. Our global sales revenue breaks through 200 million USD last year. As a well-known inverter manufacturer, Goodwill has won many awards recognized in the PV industry. For example, Goodwill is the only solar inverter manufacturer to win the TUV Rainline All Quality Matters Award for 6 consecutive years. And we were also awarded as world's #1 hybrid storage inverter supplier in 2019. Next, let's look at some typical commercial and industrial system solutions and applications of Goodwill commercial products. This system is specially designed for commercial rooftops. In the system, the generated solar power will be consumed by the loads first, and then the power will be fed into the grid. In a commercial and industrial scenario, we will have multiple inverters, so we can use a communication box here. It is called the SEC 1000 for the load consumption monitoring and also export power limit. And Goodwill also offers free online monitoring platform. And it is called the SAMS portal, which is short for the Smart Energy Management System. It is a smart tool to help customers monitor their power plants in a visualized way and help maintenance. And we also offer system solution for the low voltage grid, for example, in some areas like Latin America and Southeast Asia. And in large commercial projects, we also offer products and system solutions for the high voltage scenario. In high voltage systems, the inverter output will be connected to the transformer first and then connected to the high voltage distributed network. For the communication methods, we can choose the power line communication to save our cable investment. Here are our main products for the commercial and industrial applications from 25 kilowatt to 136 kilowatt. And we have SMT here that has 3 MPPTs working from 25 to 36 kilowatt. And we also have the MT series that offers both low voltage and high voltage model with 4 MPPTs from 50 to 80 kilowatt. And we also have an HT series works from 73 to 136 kilowatt. And good with commercial and industrial products are featured with a full load operation at 50 and up to 150% DC oversizing. And we also support up to 115 AC overloading. Customers are also free to choose the integrated arc fault circuit interpreter and power line communication. And here is our ultimate high power inverter, HT 1500 volt series. It is specially designed for the large commercial and industrial application, as well as the large utility projects. So this model is fully compatible with the mainstream high power modules, such as the 182mm and 210mm PV modules. And we will discuss this part later. So HT 1500 volt series also offers the second generation power line communication, as well as the smart IV curve diagnosis and SVG functions. This is a special version for the HT series, which is specially designed for the 210mm. It is called the KN series. So the main difference between the KN series and the normal HT series is that it has the 6 MPPTs, and each MPPT will have 3 strings. And for the each string has a maximum input current for 20 ampere, so that it can fit in the large current train of the PV modules. Now let's look in details how good we inverters to be compatible with the high current and bifacial modules. As we know, there's an evolution of PV modules with larger solar size and higher power level, which brings challenges for the whole PV industry. For the inverter manufacturers, we need to increase the maximum input current and maximum short circuit current to be compatible with the high power PV modules. As far as we can see, 182mm wafer has been widely used in the PV utility scale power plants and also some commercial rooftops. Our inverters could be fully adapted to 182 modules. We can see the mainstream 182mm manufacturers has a short circuit current at about 13 to 14 ampere. And we found that even the one Jinko Solar that has the largest short circuit current of 14.9 ampere, it is still below 15 ampere. So our inverter can support maximum 15 ampere input current per string. So and it already has been a mainstream combination for the 182 modules and HT inverters. So we are fully adapted to the 182mm modules. In the commercial and industrial application, our solution is to connect one string for each MPPTs. So we can have a maximum input current of 13 ampere to connect with the 210mm PV modules. Here, let's take Trina Vertex 600 volt and Goodway 120 kilowatt HT as an example. We can see that the short circuit current for the Trina Vertex is 18.52 ampere, and the open circuit voltage is 41.5 voltage at STC. After some calculation, we found that we can have 22 PV modules per string, and 12 strings are actually connected for the good with 120 kilowatt. And finally, we still have 132% DC oversizing. So we can say that we can fully adapt it to the 210mm module as well. While for the utility projects, as we've mentioned before, we have a special version of KNHT. So the string current of KNHT is 20 ampere per string. And with a 3-string design, most clients may have a concern that if they need an external fuse to prevent the 2-string current be backfeeded to 1 string. Well, for the KN series, we still keep the no fuse design to solve this problem. It is equipped with an intelligent DC switch, which can be automatically trip the DC switch when the current failure happens. And this DC switch can receive the trip signal from the inverter DSP to shut down the DC circuit when the emergency happens. So we can say that our new model is perfectly matched with the 210mm module. Next, let's have a look at the product features of GoodWe commercial and industrial products. So GoodWe inverters can adapt to multiple environments. For example, if there's multiple angle rooftops, we have 12 MPPTs, so it is very flexible for the system design. And GoodWe inverters also features for the full load operation at high temperature, and can also adapt to the coastal areas because HT series is certified with the C5 corrosion protection level. And for the lightning-prone area, integrated Type 1 SPD on the DC side is also available to be chosen. As we've mentioned before, GoodWe inverters has a good heat dissipation performance because we have a very reasonable heat dissipation cost and is integrated with 6 powerful NMB fans. As we can see from the graph here, so it is an example of GoodWe 100 kilowatt HT series. We can keep full loading operation until 45 degrees. And as we know, there's a hazard called arc failure that could result in fire accidents. GoodWe commercial products has an optional choice of arc failure protection with the AFCI 2.0 level protection that is compliant with the UL and IEC standards. Smart IV curve diagnosis is a very useful tool for the operation and maintenance for the large commercial and industrial projects, as well as the utility project. So it can support up to 20 error types and can save the detection time down to the minutes. So it is more efficient both in time and cost. And GoodWe is also equipped with the PID recovery function. So in the evening, the PID recovery function will be automatically activated, and our inverter will add a reverse 600 volt between the module's negative and the PE to repair the PID problems happened during the daytime, so that we can have more yieldings for the whole system. GoodWe commercial products also can support the wide branch connection to reduce the DC cable investment. And we also offers flexible configuration methods. We can either choose the LCD screen or use the SolarGo app via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to do the configurations. Well, now let's have a look at how GoodWe inverters ensures reliability and safety. So to ensure our product can have a long life cycle, we have diverse tests both internally and externally. For example, we have the IP protection test conducted by the TUV rain line, and we also have a strict quality management procedure in our factory. Here are some pictures from our production line. As you can see, we have very strict control for our production line. We have a self-developed ATS test to make sure our inverter is 100% ready before shipment. And we also have an aging test to ensure our inverter are reliable in extreme hot weather conditions. Well, in the end, let's have a look about some case references of GoodWe. Here are some projects we've done in Southeast Asia. For example, we've done a 10 megawatt project for the airport in India using our MT series. And we also have some cooperation with some famous companies like the ATA Power Solar in India. And we also supplied inverters for Bosch and Siemens. This is another project in Vietnam using our MP 6 kilowatt inverter. Okay, thank you all for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the knowledgeable presentation, and glad we did not miss it. And with this, I would like to wrap up the session. And thank you so much, and a special thanks to Jen sir. You gracefully combined the various interests of the audience and related those interests to the panel of experts flawlessly. Your moderation gave a direction to the session, and it was really great. Also, a special thanks to Priyambada ma'am, because your insights really added on to the panel discussion. Along with this, all the panelists did a really great job and kept the audience at the height of their interest. I am sure if this would have been a physical panel, everybody would have got a live ovation. And so, a hand of applause for everybody. Thank you so much. And thank you once again. But the show is not over yet. We are having the most awaited part of the day, which is our Gala Awards of Malaysia Solar Week. With this, handing it over to Geeta ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone. All the panelists, thanks a lot. Glad to have you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you,
Everyone.
Take care.
everyone. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.
Happy
Bye
business
bye.
to all. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Your video, please. Geeta, please start.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to our Gala Award ceremony of Malaysia Solar Week Leadership Awards 2021. I am Geeta, your host for the evening. We have seen that over the years, the Malaysian solar market has grown stronger and the achievement targets set much higher. With our Malaysian solar leaders working so hard and contributing highly to the development of solar energy, the recognition and celebration is a must. So, this evening is all about acknowledging and cheering our winners for achieving these great milestones and recognition in the industry. So, dear audience, since you all cannot come on the screen and clap for our winners, you can definitely go ahead and pour your congratulatory notes in the chat box, and we have these amazing emojis too. So, honoring these unconventional leaders of the Malaysian solar industry, we proudly commence our award ceremony. All right, so the heartbeat is going stronger and the countdown has just begun. So let us start our ceremony with the first set of awards. And that first set of awards are Business Excellence Awards. Well, the first category in Business Excellence Awards is Solar Company of the Year, EPC. May we have the slide? Okay, so the legacy goes that first, before we make an announcement of the winner, we drop few hints about the winning company. So let us see if you can get a clue from that. So our winning company is one of the key players in the renewable energy market, dedicated to offering its expertise and bringing new approaches to these sectors. In terms of projects, a range of projects involving commercial and industrial have been completed, and one of the biggest projects that the company has done in the last 2 years is the Malakoff project in Penang, worth Malaysian ringgit 46.4 million with a capacity of 10 megawatt AC. Wow, great work. So let us see who the award goes to. And the winner is Well, our winner is Samarjan Group Berhad. May I request Noor Faraz Suhaimi, Corporate Affairs Senior Executive of the company, to kindly accept the award. Could we have on the screen, please?
Hi.
Hello, Ms. Noor.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. How are you? I'm good. I'm good.
All good.
I'm so
Heartiest
excited.
congratulations
Yes,
on the
I'm
great
excited
win.
for this award. Um. Good afternoon, everyone who present here. My name is Farah. I will be the representative for Sam Eden Group. My GMD is very occupied at the moment, so I'll be taking place to receive this award. So without further ado, Sam Eden would like to thank you for bestowing us with such an honor and this special award. We feel extremely overwhelmed and are indeed a loss of word. And this is a very special moment in Sam Eden. It's actually a stepping stone also for us. And uh, and we would also like to thank the authorities of this prestigious institution for recognizing our works, our projects, and contribution in the renewable energy industry in all these years. I believe the participants here are also the participant from yesterday's event where Ms. Chow was one of the panelists, and this is actually a very great honor for us to win the Solar Company of the Year for EPC. And lastly, I would like to mention that everyone here knows that renewable energy is evolving very, very fast, and the technology used for the solar project should also progress as well. Realizing this, Sam Eden aspire to invest more in renewable energy, and we hope to continuously improvise our projects for the future to come or for the coming year. Thank you. Once again, Gita and everyone here.
That was amazing, I must say. Great speech and a very great work by the company. Congratulations to you and the entire company of Samaitan. Thank you so much. All right, so moving on to our next category for business excellence, and the category is Solar Company of the Year Finance. Okay, so let me give you a few hints about the winning company now. The company owns and operates 2 solar farms in Malaysia, that is 29 megawatt AC solar farm under the LSS1 and a 20 megawatt AC solar farm under LSS2 of the Malaysian solar bidding exercise. Both plants achieved their COD according to schedule and managed to raise the first ASEAN Green Sustainable and Responsible Investment SUSUK worth Malaysian ringgit 260 million. Great work by the company. So let us see who the winner is. And the award goes Well, the award goes to Leader Energy Holding. Now, may I request Mr. Gan Boon Heng, Group Chief Executive Officer of the company, to kindly come on the screen and accept the award. Do we have Mr. Boon with us? Team, could you check if we have Mr. Boon?
I'm sorry.
Hello, Mr.
Some technical error. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can see you and hear you.
Thank you very much. I'm Gan. I'm the CEO of Leader Energy. On behalf of our company, I would like to thank First View Group for giving us the honor. Apart from getting opportunities to find a good projects, financing is one of the key success of any projects, and I'm happy to say that we are able to have achieved financial close on time for both our projects. And apart from these two projects, we are also able to raise financing for our other projects in the region as well, including a 330 megawatt in Vietnam, in Taiwan, and also our rooftop projects in the whole Southeast Asia region. So again, thank you First View Group for giving us the honor and giving us this award. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Boone. It was great to have you here and great speech, I must say. Heartiest congratulations to the entire team. So, Mr. Gan, before you go, just a small question I needed to understand. Since you deal in finance and investments, so I would like to know that if you hit a jackpot of $100 million, so what investment would you make and how are you going to spend it? I know a little out of the contest questions, but I think it's okay for the award ceremony.
I think after the COP26 conference in Scotland recently, I think the talk of the town, everybody is talking about renewable energy. I would actually put my money into the battery storage. I think this is definitely up and coming. For the solar industry, there is a lot of opportunities, especially in the storage part. So definitely that's where I think I will put my money in, and everybody is going for a green energy that we can live in a more environmental friendly world that you know that we reduce our carbon footprint.
Very well put and very thoughtful of you, I must say there. Anyways, thank you so much for answering my question and letting me know where are you going to do the investment. Thank you so much, and heartiest congratulations to the entire team.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to move to our next category, and the category is Solar Company of the Year structure. Okay, so let me give you a few hints about our winning company. The company specializes in the production of aerodynamic substructures for the photovoltaic industry. Their products mainly target removable ground mount system, waterproof membrane, rooftop systems in the region. The company's products are tested according to the highest industry standards, and the static design as well as the wind and snow load calculation is carried out for each individual project in Aero Tool, the company's own online 3D engineering software. Amazing technology by the company, I should say. So let us see who this amazing company is. And the award goes to well, the award goes to Aero Compact India Private Limited. Now, may I request Mr. Mandar Mende, Managing Director, India, to kindly accept the award.
Geeta, Mr. Mandar is facing some issue at the moment. I think we should announce his name afterwards.
Yes, we'll definitely do that. We'll have Mr. Mandar with us in a short while and announce the award once again. So with this, now I think we should be moving to our next set of awards. So moving to our next set of awards, and that are Solar Project Excellence Awards. And the first category is Best Solar Project of the Year. As I always do, let me tell you a little bit about our winning company. So the winning project is a Malaysian highway solar project. The project involves the installation of approximately 3,122 pieces of solar photovoltaic panels on 3 types of solar PV installation methods, namely metal deck roofing of various buildings, building integrated photovoltaic, car park structure, and ground-mounted structures. A total of 13 different solar PV systems over 8 sites would provide an annual green energy generation capacity of approximately 19,05,000 kilowatt hour per year. So it's time to reveal this amazing company, and let us see the award goes to. Well, the award goes to Hesselwan. And may I request Mr. Yong Hui, Chief Executive Officer of the company, to kindly accept the award. Mr. Wong?
Hello. Hi. Hello. Can you tell me, can you hear
Hello.
me?
Yes, we can. Could you please switch on the camera, please?
Actually, I have. Hold on a minute. Okay, there.
Yeah, we can see you. Perfect.
Nice to meet you. Hi, how are you?
All good.
Yeah, thank you for this very nice, kind award. So I guess what I want to say here is, firstly, I'd like to say thank you to the highway concessionaire who actually will give us the opportunity to build this project for them. This is the Lata Highway and also the concessionaire of the solar system, Serambi Idaman Sdn Bhd. We're going to give them a really big thank you. This was a very challenging project within a very short stipulated time. We managed to actually complete the project on time, and we were actually told that we were the first in the country to successfully power the system via the government's net energy metering program. So we're very proud of our achievement. I'm very proud of also, I want to say a big thank you to Hasiwan's own project development team. And yes, and also of course to you, the organizer. Thanks for honoring our achievement. We hope there'll be many more to come.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your very kind words, and heartiest congratulations on the very, very great win, Ms. Wong. And it's actually a great achievement. You said you were the first one in the country. So great work, I must say, out there. So I just wanted to understand from you that, so the Malaysian market is taking a lot of stronger steps towards the development. And we see that a lot of development and advancement is already happening in Malaysia. So what do you foresee would be the solar industry of Malaysia in another 5 years?
In another 5 years?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to have to echo Mr. Gan's earlier comments that he was talking about the future of energy storage. That is the big next exciting thing for us as well. Or as well as the whole solar industry. Once we have, storage coming to an affordable pricing level, I think we're going to see a lot of solar projects expanding, possibly even doubling to triple. And I think the next very exciting future for us as well is the electrification of mobility. That the Malaysian government has just passed a supportive policy on the budget to actually, provide a lot of tax incentives for electric mobility. Now that's for next year. Very, very exciting news. It's going to be a very, very bright green future, we think, in the following year. So we hope that everybody will get to benefit as well. Yeah.
Very well said, and heartiest congratulations to you and the entire team. So, and even to the Malaysian solar market, who is doing such an amazing work. So we see a lot of awards coming up next year too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations once again.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care, you too. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with this now let us move on to our next category. So our next category of solar project excellence is Best Solar Project of the Year, Floating. Let us have few hints about our winning company. So the company's floating solar project has 36,000 pieces of PV panels with a total solar production of 15 megawatt peak. The company has transformed abandoned land area to long profit gathering power production lake. It introduced modern and fast construction of operations and management office, incorporating all required functioning spaces. It installed artificial intelligence CCTV system equipped with motion detection compound spotlights. Wow, so much of work on the lake. Great. So let us see who this winning company is. And the award goes to well, the award goes to ADL Solar. So may I request Mr. Kamaruddin Abdullah, Business Strategy Development Director, to kindly accept the award.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Good
And thank you, Miss Keta. All right. So Kamaruddin Dio. I'd like to thank you to the organizer team which has made this event happen. Right. As a director and stand-in for the founder of the Day2 Solar himself, as Datuk Kong Yin King, has put out all this effort and patience into this industry and build up Enderly and ADL Solar group of companies. And for informations, the LS2, the Manjung Perak was our pride and all the hard work during the beginning of pandemic COVID-19 when we start the project. So I also like to thank you, the panel of judges for selection of Andeli Solar as a winner of the Solar Flotation Award categories. We are extremely honored and humbled to receive the recognition and would like to share the honors with all the project staff, project team, contractors in this design implementation of these 10 megawatts of PV solar power. It is done starting of the pandemic COVID-19, and now the Coral Power LS2 can be claimed as one of the biggest in Malaysia and our pride. And from now on, I think many of us will expand into this floating solar. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank you all the cooperation given by all the authorities for the selection, transformation of otherwise unusable disused mining pool, which is abandoned pool, and turn it to become a productive green energy power plant. I believe we and every company that attended today's events in the solar industry hope there will be more supportive policy and initiative by the Malaysian governments to encourage our industry for more PV solars and energy storage project to reduce Malaysia carbon emission footprint. Together, let's make a better place for the next generation for the green living. And I'd like to say the last words of thank you. And this is our achievement together.
Well, I must say that was one amazing speech I have heard.
Thank you.
And I'm really impressed. You said there was an abandoned lake and it has been converted and reused for all the better purposes and constructive purposes. Yes. So hats off to you and your company for doing such an amazing work. So floating is and on an abandoned lake, creating this entire infrastructure for floating solar and generating that kind of electricity, the clean energy, what we talk about. I want to understand from you that according to you, what is more challenging, the floating, the rooftop, or the utility solar projects?
Actually, what's challenging when we start to do anything on the new project or new approach is always a challenging. But what makes us keep on moving and live on because of the challenge in our life? That is what makes us all going and become a better company, better nation, and make improvement of the world.
Amazing speech, I must say again, a very, very positive note that is definitely that, you need to put in effort and make everything a better place for all of us to live in. Thank you so much and heartiest congratulations to the entire team on the very great win.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now let us move to our next set of awards, and that is Technology and Innovation Excellence Awards. So the first category we have is Smart Technology Innovation of the Year.
Saan? Bapa mi nila open. Mag-phone ka papa.
Something about our winning technology now. So the company's amazing technology helps in the site assessment by using satellite image analytics. The technology helps in flood risk assessment, hydrological historical study, mapping and surveying. The advantages of using this technology is that it can be done remotely. It is cost effective, less manpower required, and efficiency in data and assessment. It takes less time to produce the study and is 85% accurate. Great work, great technology. So let us see who this amazing company is. And the award goes to and the award goes to Uzma Group. Now, may I request Dr. Ahmed Khalid Khari, Chief Executive Officer of the company, to kindly accept the award.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can see you, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you, organizer, for giving us the opportunity to have this award given to us. I think this is part of the new technology innovation that we've been using and been applied on our current LSS4 projects, where we're using our homegrown technology using satellite images, where we do have access from the satellite database, where we were able to predict what kind of historical record in terms of flooding risk assessment, in addition to what we have in the previous existing method. So by having these satellite images coupled with our big data analytics and our imaging processing, I think we should able to make more analytical, more actionable, in order to make a better solar plan in more strategic area, and all the risk assessment can be assessed with a more accurate, and how we are going to prevent and do a better solar plan in future. Again, thank you for giving us this award for this event.
Thank you so much. Amazing technology introduced by the company, I must say out there. Heartiest congratulations to the entire team. So, Mr. Ahmed, you being a CEO of the company, now that's a quite tasking work. I'm sure you must not be getting enough time for yourself, So just in case you get enough time for yourself, and you get an opportunity to go on a vacation alone, just alone. So where would you like to go?
Oh, well, again, as I mentioned, if you have a lot of money, I think I would rather emulate what Elon Musk has been doing, vacationing on space, right? So we are using satellite technology. So
Okay.
why not have a vacation in space, right? And at the same time, using the technology that being currently be adopted by the satellite economy.
Okay, amazing, great. So we wish that all that happens and the dreams come true for you and the company as well. So heartiest congratulations to you, and thank you so much for your presence.
Thank you.
Okay, now the next award in line is Outstanding Service Innovation of the Year. Well, our winning company is a leading solar power company and solar panel installer in Malaysia that provides clean energy to the residential homeowners, to full-scale commercial and industrial solar energy systems and solar farm projects. The company branched beyond the conventional solar panel system with more creative and innovative layout design and installation to harness its beauty and aesthetics, while maximizing clean energy potential of the sun. Great work. So let us see who this amazing technology is. And the award goes to Well, the award goes to Macro Engineering. Now, may I request Mr. Mohammed Faisuri Bahari, Chief Operating Officer of the company, to kindly accept the award. Mr. Mohammed? Hello, Mr. Bahari? Team, could we check? Mr. Mohammed, could we have your camera on, please? Ladies and gentlemen, I think there's some technical issue. We'll just wait for a second. But would want Mr. Bori to join us for this award. Team, can we please check this?
Geeta, I think there is some technical issue from his end. We can just announce his name afterwards.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that. Yes,
Hello,
Mr.
guys.
Yes, Mr. Bori. We can hear you, but we cannot see you.
I'm also wondering why. Give me a sec. See
Sure.
whether can I fix, or I'm not sure because I did accept the join, the button. So let me see again. Or if not, is it okay?
Yeah,
if
we can we can go ahead with the audio also, I think. And,
Okay,
and as and when the video gets all right, the technical problem is being solved, we'll definitely get you back on the screen because we'd love to see you.
Okay, great. Okay, again, before further ado, I would like to apologize with all these technical issues. So, wow, overwhelmed with the gratitude and have been selected to receive this award. Thank you so much, guys, for all being here to share in this occasion. Probably myself, I think I would address myself as we representing the entire Mako team, and extremely honored to have the works recognized under this particular events. And it means really so much to all of us in Mako, the company that really proud of. So this accomplishment, as everyone knows, I think for my personal standing, is not something that I can do it alone. It's actually a teamwork, and there's so many people that I would like to thank. Probably I'll start off with from my engineering project team, spearheaded by Mr. MB Wong, Paul, and also our design team, Mr. Ding, Ms. Shakila, and we also would like to thank our project development team, Ms. Farah, Shahir, our project operations support team, Mr. Anas, Ms. Ifa, Azli, and so many more. Okay, not to forget, we would like to extend our appreciation and thank you for our operation business teams, our administration, accounts, and the rest. Okay, and thank you to all our customers, such as Spritzer, Deloitte Industries, Everlast, PMP Textile, KTH Paints, many more, and with which they have been given us a great opportunity to serve them and to prove our excellence in servicing and to deliver their projects. Okay, last but not least, to our main shareholders, Datuk Leon, our CEO, Mr. KK Kong, our senior management team, Mr. Nazrin, Mr. Lim, Thank you very much for the inspiration that has made our team, our accomplishment, being able to recognize possible. Okay, and also lastly, before not forgetting the organizers, thank you so much for hosting and honoring this recognition to Mako. I really hope that this recognition for our work can serve as inspiration to others in the industries. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bori. Great speech. And I must say, I was really impressed with the company customized services that you offer to your clients. That's again a very great work by the company.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. Bori, there has been good and bad things about the entire pandemic. Like 2 years, we have had enough of the pandemic situation going on. Some good, some bad. So if I have to look at the good part of the pandemic and ask you that, is there any new hobby or that you have discovered or any new passion that you have fulfilled, during these 2 years?
Well, it's a tricky question, to be honest. I do like music,
Okay.
and I do like technological stuff as well. So usually during the pandemic situation, although we can't service ourselves back to office during that time, what I did most of the time is actually to research on all the new technologies, all the new application that can be used for all these industries, as in overall. We're talking about the surveillance analytics. We're talking about the power qualities. We're talking about the ways of how to creatively deploy the system in the more fashionable manners, more aesthetic manners, and whatnot. Okay, that's what I did. Thank you.
Amazing work and very constructively you have used your time, I must say. So heartiest congratulations to you and the entire team on the very great win. Hope to see you in our next awards also for the Malaysia.
Thank you very much, and take care.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, dear audience. Now, there is a very well said quote that we do not need magic to change the world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already, and we have the power to imagine better. Well, so is the power of our next leader, who has set an example and created a mark for herself in the industry. Moving on to our last category of the ceremony, which is Individual Leadership Awards. And the category is Emerging Business Leader of the Year. Well, very nicely, I will now just tell you a bit about our great leader. Our winner comes with a rich industry experience of 18 years. She established the company with the aim to become the first few successful female entrepreneurs in this field that can provide end-to-end solutions for RE, EE, and environmental projects. Throughout the years, our leader has managed to accomplish several remarkable things for the company, as well as for the environment too. Well, a very true inspiration, I must say, and a great leader indeed. So let us see who this amazing leader is. And the award goes to and our leader is Ms. Choi Puhey, Group Managing Director, Samite and Group Berhad. Now may I request Ms. Farah to kindly come on the screen, please, to accept the award.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi. Congratulations once again.
Hi, thank you once again. All right, yes, as before, I'm here to represent Miss Chow to accept this award. Unfortunately, she's not able to accept this award this time around too, because she is engaged with another matter. I would like to express on behalf of Ms. Chow this deepest gratitude for honoring Miss Chow with this Emerging Business Leader of the Year award. As you all know, she is one of the I would say a lady boss in this renewable energy in Malaysia, renewable energy company in Malaysia, and she's deeply honored to accept this award. Apart from that, I would say on behalf of Miss Chow has always been a very good leader and was very innovative in thinking of possible way to diversify the company. Whereby we in Sam Eden in 2013 actually started off as EPCC company, and now we have a total of 4 subsidiaries under Sam Eden Group Berhad, where we were also when public listed just last year. So Sam Eden was really a fast-paced company, and Miss Chow was behind all of this, and we Miss Chow's aim is obviously is to achieve the government's goal to achieve the RE mix target of 31% by 2025, and it is also our main contributor and vision and mission in Sam Eden as well. So, lastly, I would like to thank the organizer for inviting Ms. Chow as one of the panelists of Malaysian Solar Week 2021, and also for honoring us with these 2 awards to Sam Eden Group Berhad and also to Ms. Chow. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and heartiest congratulations to Ms. Chow. Indeed, a great leader, I must say, and since you have spoken so much about her, I'm sure she is an amazing businesswoman. Noor, I just wanted, to know one thing, that if I were to visit Malaysia,
okay,
personally, which are your favorite places that you're going to suggest me? Not the one which are there on the itinerary, but your personal favorite ones, which are really the ones I should be visiting.
I would say if towards the nature, Janda Baik in Pahang. It's a great place for you to actually relax and chill with the family. Yeah, you should put it in your itinerary if you ever come to Malaysia.
All right, now I think I have to come to Malaysia to see all these amazing places and to meet you. So you're going to be there to taking me all these amazing places.
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much, Noah. Heartiest congratulations to Ms. Chow on
Thank
this
you, Gita,
very
for having us.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we missed out on Aero Compact. Mr. Mandar was not, he could not. He was having some technical issue, but we have Mr. Jayesh from Aero Compact to join us for the award. So could we have Mr. Jayesh on the screen, please? Hello, Mr. Jayesh. Heartiest congratulations on the great win.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can see you also.
Okay, I thank you. I am sorry Mandar was unable to attend because he's having some technical issues on his both phone and laptop. And thank you Solar Quarter and First View for giving us this award. We have been recognized worldwide for premium supplies for racking solutions, both for rooftop as well as ground mount. We are there in Malaysia for the past 4-5 years, and it's really a proud feeling for all of us at Aero Compact to be besieged with this award. I thank you once again on behalf of Mandar and all our team based in Austria, India, Asia, everywhere. We thank everyone for this award. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and heartiest congratulations on the very great win to the entire team of Aero Compact.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, with these ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our award ceremony. Heartiest congratulations to all our winners and their teams who have put in such hard work for this amazing, deserving win today. So special thanks to each and every audience member for being a part of our award ceremony and gracing our ceremony. So keep tuned in to our solar quarter updates and our upcoming events too. So hope to see you all at our upcoming award functions and conferences again. Till then, stay safe and stay happy. Thank you, everyone.